One of the major themes at the World Economic Forum in Davos this year is Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The fact that there have been so many human lives which have been lost in Ukraine, the fact that there have been so many reports of human rights violations, something that we as journalists have been able to independently corroborate, is something which is actually being discussed by world leaders. And over here, I'm at a particular pavilion which looks at Russia's war crimes in Ukraine. Ksenia joins us for more on this. She is a curator of this very sad display with images, in fact, including of graves which we have visited in the Chernihiv area. How in Davos this year are Russia's war crimes a primary focus?
Our focus is to show what Russia is doing now, and it didn't stop. It's keep going. We have here a map with the statistics. We have a lot of photographs of our artists and a video from Alexei's side with evidences of war crimes of Russia. And we do it in the former Russia House. But there is no Russia this year in Davos. But we wanted and we made it. We want to show the place what they are doing now.
Yeah. And where in Ukraine are you personally from?
I'm from Bucha.
And Bucha saw some of the worst I was in Bucha when a lot of the bodies were being exhumed. What was your family okay? Were they affected by this? Did they evacuate?
Yes, I evacuated with my daughter on the third day of war. I didn't stay at Bucha, luckily, and that's why we are alive now. And now with Pinchuk Art Center, the art center from Kiev, I'm making Ukraine more visible for the world.
This must be incredibly difficult for you personally, the fact that family members have been affected, the fact that there is so much loss. To put this together, tell us how difficult that was.
It was very difficult, and all our team, they were collecting photographs from our photographs, and we collected near 5,000 photographs, and we had to select them, to select the most speaking, the most prominent photographs, because our photographers, they are risking their lives to make these evidences.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for your courage in bringing this even more to the international forum. Just a couple of key points over here as we actually move to this area and take a look at some of the other images. Now, this is likely to actually have been a coincidence, but the India pavilion is located next to this particular pavilion which looks at the Russian war crimes. India is one of the few nations in the world which hasn't voted against Russia in key international fora, in other words, the United Nations, choosing instead to take a path right down the center. European leaders have always said India needs to do more. India says that our national policy is ours and we will be guided by self-interest. However, here is another interesting anecdote. The Ukraine House or the Ukraine Pavilion, which has been set up in Davos this year, has been set up by an Indian entrepreneur in Davos. Funding was difficult for the Ukrainian government this year. It was an Indian entrepreneur in Switzerland who chose to fund the completion of the Ukrainian pavilion in Davos. In Davos, Switzerland, Vishnu Shom for NDTV.